You've probably seen an object like this 100 times, maybe more, but have you ever really looked at it? Because what if I told you that hidden inside this simple conch shell are some of the universe's biggest secrets?
Yeah, you see them all the time, right? On the beach, in souvenir shops, maybe you've even got one on a bookshelf at home. And sure, it's a beautiful thing from nature. But is that all it is? Just a pretty shell?
Or could it be something way more? What if it's a key? A key that unlocks this hidden code connecting, well, everything, from mind-bending mathematics and ancient rituals, all the way to the design of our own bodies. Seriously. You're going to want to stick around for this because this humble shell has an absolutely incredible story to tell.
Okay, so first things first, we have to get one thing straight. The shape of a conch isn't random, not at all. It's actually a masterpiece of mathematics. It's built on what you could call a universal blueprint.
And that blueprint? It's all based on this one special number, about 1.618. You might know it as phi, or the golden ratio. It's even got another name, the divine proportion. And there's a good reason for that. It's because this exact mathematical relationship shows up over and over again in things that we just find beautiful.
So, where does this kind of magic number even come from? Well, it emerges from a really cool mathematical sequence. As you go through the series, if you take any two numbers next to each other and find their ratio, it gets closer and closer and closer to that perfect 1.618. It just locks right in. It's a fundamental constant, like baked into the code of math itself.
Now, a lot of us in the West learned about this as the Fibonacci series, right? But what's really fascinating is that the roots of this idea go way, way further back. The source material for this explainer points to ancient Indian mathematics, where it was known as the Hemachandra series, and that itself came from an even older concept, the Meru Prastara. So this knowledge is ancient.
Okay, so what happens when you actually visualize this mathematical ratio? You get this just perfect, elegant curve. It's called the golden spiral. And here it is. This is the big cosmic connection. The exact same spiral pattern that dictates how a tiny shell grows is also the pattern you see in the swirling arms of a galaxy. Mind-blowing, right?
And no, this is not a coincidence. This pattern is like nature's signature. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll find it in the way a fern uncurls, the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower, the perfect chambers of a nautilus shell. It's everywhere. It's like a universal design language written into the fabric of reality.
But wait, the shell's story isn't just about what you can see. It's also about what you can hear. That silent mathematical pattern, well, it transforms into an instrument of sound. And not just any sound, a sound that was considered sacred all over the world. You know, in the Indian tradition, the conch, or Shankha as it's called, produces a sound that's deeply connected to the sacred sound of Om, that's considered to be like the primordial vibration of the entire universe. They call it Nada Brahma, which basically means the divine in the form of sound. And what's so wild is that this wasn't just happening in one place, not even close. Using the conch as a ceremonial instrument was a truly global thing. It popped up independently in native cultures all over the planet, from the Americas to Africa, Asia, and all across the Pacific.
Let's take a quick trip around the world. For thousands of years in India, it's been absolutely central to worship, its sound filling ancient temples.
Then, you jump clear across the ocean to South America. And guess what? They were blowing it during their most important ceremonies, using its sound to connect with the divine.
And it continues all across the Pacific, from ancient Mexico to the islands of Polynesia. That one distinct sound held immense spiritual and social power. It was, in a very real way, a universal voice.
Okay, so we've gone from the scale of galaxies all the way to ancient cultures around the globe. Now for this last part, we're going to bring it right back home. I mean, really home. We're going to find an echo of that very same conch, hidden deep inside our own body.
And this is where things get almost unbelievably personal. Just look at this. On the left, you see the internal spiral of the conch, and on the right, that's the human cochlea, the tiny, spiral-shaped organ inside your ear that lets you hear me right now. The design? It's practically identical.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Nature, using that exact same golden ratio blueprint we talked about, built a perfect instrument to make sound, the conch, and a perfect instrument to receive sound, our ear, and gave them the exact same fundamental design.
And believe it or not, the connection doesn't even stop there. It goes right to the source of our own voice, our throat.
And the way we talk about a certain part of our throat actually reveals two totally different ways of looking at the world.
So, in Western anatomy, we call that bump in the throat the Adam's apple, right? That name comes from a religious story about forbidden fruit. But check this out. In many Indian languages, it's called the Shankha, the exact same word for the conch shell. Why? It's not based on a myth, it's based on function. It's a name that recognizes that this part of our body, the larynx, is what produces sound, just like the conch.
So let's bring it all together. What is a conch shell, really? Well, it's clearly not just one thing, is it? It's a masterpiece of mathematics, following that cosmic golden ratio. It's a sacred instrument, with a sound that connects people all over the globe. And maybe most incredible of all, it's a mirror of our own bodies, a reflection of the design that gives us the power of hearing and the power of speech.
It's just an incredible reminder, isn't it, that the biggest secrets of the universe, the deepest connections, they aren't always hiding in some high-tech lab or at the end of a giant telescope. Sometimes they're sitting right there in the palm of your hand, a simple gift washed ashore by the tide.
And that just leaves us with one final thought, one question to carry with you. What other wonders are out there, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to stop and really look?